Hello, once more, and welcome back to the channel, back here on YouTube for 2023 Big Ten prediction video series here on this Wednesday. After week 12, I went 6-1 last week, and now I have a record of 79-18 on the year. This week, if I get a correct pick, I'll get over 80 correct picks on the season going in here on this, as I come to you on this Wednesday here. Because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I don't want to film a video on Thanksgiving days, because I do have to work 8 to 4 tomorrow. And so I decided I'm doing this video, Big Ten prediction video here on this Wednesday for you. So you can watch this tomorrow. I'll try to upload it tonight. You can watch this tomorrow to get yourself prepared for the Big Ten weekend. 2 Black Friday games. 5 of the 7 matchups this week are trophy games. So it's Trophy Game Mayhem. It's Trophy Game Mayhem weekend in the Big Ten. That's what I'm calling this weekend. So with that being said, it's time to get into this 2023 Big Ten prediction video here for week number 13. Let's get started, the final regular season week. As we get started here for the Big Ten, the final week, week 13 matchups. First matchup of the day, first matchup coming up on Friday between rivals Iowa and Nebraska coming in. And this matchup has a lot of things. Iowa, the Big Ten West Division champ. Question, will Iowa start their starters and try to go for their 10th win of the year? Or will they bench their starters this week? That's a question that remains to be seen to prepare for the Big Ten Championship game a week from Saturday coming up. And then also, Iowa and Nebraska, these two teams are big rivals. Since Nebraska has joined the Big Ten in 2011, they play this game every Friday. On Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving, since Nebraska joined the Big Ten. Iowa's won 8 of the last 10. And since Nebraska joined the Big Ten in 2011, 8 of the games have been decided by one-score games. So, one-score games, like so a touchdown or a field goal or less. So, one-score games, 8 of them have. And Iowa also has won 8 of the last 10. And since 2018, the last 5 meetings have been one-score games the last 5 years. And to bring that up, I think that's going to happen again this week on Friday. On Friday this week, Iowa looking to win their 6th straight in Lincoln, Nebraska. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen this week because Iowa has not been good. Having to go on the road, play at Nebraska. Nebraska's going to want to win to go bowl eligible. I think Nebraska will going to win to go to a bowl game this year to go 6-6. Unfortunately, because I don't think Iowa's going to have it in them to go on the road in a hostile environment where with their backup quarterback, Deacon Hill, or their third-string quarterback, whoever the backup is, Deacon Hill. I don't know if I can get a win with a third-string quarterback, who's going to play this week. So, however, I don't know how that's going to go down. If Iowa does play their regular starters, I think Iowa has a chance to get a win. But if they don't, I think Nebraska's going to win this week. And unfortunately, going into a hostile environment like Lincoln, it's going to be tough to get a win. Nebraska is looking to snap a 5-game losing streak at home against Iowa. They haven't won at home against Iowa since 2011, the last time, which was the first year they were in the Big Ten. So Nebraska's going to look to win this week. I think they might get a win on Friday. So give me Nebraska this week on Friday. Moving on to the next game in the matchup. Another Big Ten rivalry, neutral site game. Penn State 9-2, having to travel to Detroit to play at Ford Field against the Michigan State Spartans on Black Friday. A game that's going to be on NBC and Peacock on Friday night. It's the first time the Big Ten's had two games on Black Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving. And Penn State coming in 9-2. And Michigan State coming in, unfortunately, with a bad record this year. They only won 4 games this year for Michigan State. And they're playing for the Land Grant Trophy is their rivalry trophy. So it's one of the 5 trophy games in the Big Ten this week. As you look at it, Penn State has won 3 of the last 4, dating back to 2019. to 2019, and Michigan State since 2010 has won the most, winning 6 and losing 4, going 6-4. Penn State, though, coming in 9-2 on the year. The series overall history is tied at 18 for the Land Grant Trophy since they become big, since they're two teams. Michigan State, like I said, has won. Penn State, like I said, has won 3 of the last 4. Then back to 2019 going to this matchup. And Michigan State this year is having a bad year. Their coach got fired for sexual assault, for sexual harassment. And Penn State coming in looking to get to 10-2. I think Penn State's going to get a big win to go to 10-2. Michigan State, this doesn't have it in them, I think, unfortunately, this weekend. So I'm taking Penn State to get the win in Ford Field on a neutral site game against Michigan State on Friday night, which moves us on to our next matchup in the Big Ten. We're going into the Saturday slate, the big one of the year. Ohio State having to travel to Michigan to play the Michigan Wolverines. Both teams coming in at 11-0, second year in a row that both these teams come into this matchup at 11-0. Third time in my lifetime they're both 11-0. That's happened way back in 2006. It happened last year in 2022, and this year in 2023. So the second time these two teams come in to their game, both teams unbeaten at 11-0 in the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. Let me pull up the stats for that one. Michigan has won the last 2, by the way, in 2021 and 2022, as they also won the Big Ten title both years. As we look at the stats, this matchup is going to be one of those games where Michigan is going to play at home, and they have a clear advantage at home at 11-0. They won 2 years ago in the game against Ohio State in a blowout. As I get the game results here, Michigan last year won 45-23. The year before that, they won 42-23. And the rivalry between these two teams has the last 4 years dating back to 2018, have been really the last 5 years have been really big wins by these two teams, between the two teams, dating back to 2018. 2020 did not play because of COVID-19, of course, and these two teams coming into it are both 2 and 3 in the country. The longest win streak in the 21st century goes to Ohio State, won every game from 2012 to 2019, which was 8, and then prior to that they won 04 all the way from 04 to 2009. 2010 was a game they had to vacate because of their players selling their championship merchandise. So yeah, Michigan's going to look to win at home for the fourth time in the 2000s. They've only won 3 games prior. They've only won 3 games at home against Ohio State in this rivalry since the 2000s. 2003, 2011, and 2021. I think Michigan gets a big win this weekend playing at home. I think this game's going to be a little bit closer this time around. Even though Michigan won last year in Columbus 45-23, I think this year's matchup might be a game that's decided by a touchdown or less. So give me Michigan to get the win, because I think Michigan's going to dominate at home this week. If this game was in Columbus, I think Ohio State would dominate. But since Michigan's at home, I think this is Michigan's game to win. And Michigan should get the win this week, I think, playing at home against Ohio State to go to 12-0, as I think they go back to Indianapolis for a 3rd straight year. Moving on to the next matchup on Saturday afternoon in the Big Ten. For this one, we have to go cross-conference. Indiana going into Purdue for their rivalry game. In-state rivals collide. I believe this trophy game is for the Old Oaken Bucket, I believe it is, between Purdue and Indiana. Let me just look that up real quick. I think that is correct, though. Yes, the Old Oaken Bucket is what these two teams play for in college football. Purdue playing at home this year. As we go back, if we get the game results, as I get the game results up in this rivalry, they played a lot. So Purdue has won the last two matchups, 44-7 and 30-16. The last game Indiana won is in 2019. Indiana won 44-41 in that matchup. Purdue's won 4 of the last 5. Has won 4 of the last 5 dating back to 2017. Going into this matchup, Purdue, I think, playing at home, has a good chance to get a win this week. This week at home, Purdue, they had a down year this year. Of course, as they come in 7th in the Big Ten West. Well, Indiana sits at the bottom of the Big Ten East. I think Purdue playing at home is going to get a win this week to get to 4-8. Both teams are going to get to 4-8. One of these two will have to. I think Purdue gets the win at home, playing against Indiana to go to 4-8 on the year and win the Old Oaken Bucket for a third straight time against Indiana. Moving on to our next matchup. We have to go to the Big Ten West between two teams that are fighting to get to bowl games. Between two teams that are trying to get there. Maryland going to Rutgers this weekend. The birthplace of college football, Rutgers and Maryland. I don't know if you could call this a rivalry, since these two teams have joined the Big Ten in 2014. They don't play for a trophy at all, and there's been a few times where they take these two teams and they don't play against each other on the last game of the year. That happened a few times. Maryland played Penn State a few times at the end of the year, and I think they once played Michigan State at the end of the season as well. But looking at this game, Maryland and Rutgers both coming in 6-5. One of these two teams is going to get 7-5 this weekend and get a better bowl game than the other one. They both are 3-5 in the conference, though. I think Rutgers, with them playing at home, that's going to be an easy game. One of those games where it's going to be tightly contested. These two teams, I think, will make plays. It's going to come down to which team can move the ball a bit, I think. And as I do look at the matchup, I think Rutgers, playing at home, is going to get a win this Saturday. Moving on to the next matchup in the Big Ten West, which I'm looking forward to talking about. 5-6 Illinois going into playing Northwestern this week. Oh, turn that around. Illinois is actually at home this week. Northwestern actually plays at home. Illinois actually plays at home against Northwestern. Looking to go to 6-6. Well, Northwestern looks to get to 7-5 under first-year head coach David Braun. And this game's for the Land of Lincoln Trophy. This game is for another one, third of our trophy games we're talking about. Fourth of the trophy games we're talking about. As I pull it up. Hold on a minute. And after losing to Iowa last week, Illinois is trying to get to win. They have to win this weekend to get to a bowl game. And Northwestern, they pretty much have a bowl game locked up for the most part. Yeah. So the Land of Lincoln Trophy, they've been playing for this trophy since 2009. As the game results. Illinois has won the last two, 47-14 and 41-3. Northwestern last two seasons has not been good. Both teams come in pretty evenly matched. As Northwestern comes in at 6-5 and Illinois comes in at 5-6. You look at it and on paper, Illinois playing at home, I think it's going to have an easy chance to get a win this week. I think it's going to be close, pretty close game. This might be a 1 or 2 score game at the end of the day. And I do think Illinois is going to get the win at home to go 6-6 and go bowling this postseason. So give me Illinois there. Next up, last matchup of the day. Please, last matchup of the day, yes. Last match of the day between Wisconsin, 6-5, as they have to travel to Minnesota to play on the Golden Gophers. For the last game of the year in the Big Ten, in the regular season, these two teams playing for Paul Bunyan's axe, as they are both trying to do it. With Minnesota looking to get to 6-6, while Wisconsin looking to get to 7-5 on the year. This matchup's one of those games where Minnesota has won the last two in the rivalry for Paul Bunyan's axe. And the winning team, at the end of the day, gets the winning team that wins the axe, typically this rivalry game. Usually, the team that usually wins this game in this rivalry, usually the winning team, that they take the axe and they'll go chop down the goalpost after the game with the axe. Act like that and chop down the goalpost. Minnesota's won two of the last two, 23-13 and 23-16. So they've given up less than 20 points the last few seasons. Before that, Before that, it was Wisconsin in 2019 and 2020, giving up less than 20 points when they won 38-17 in 2019 and 20-17 in 2020. And then back in 2018, Minnesota won as well, 37-15. So these two teams have split. 3 of the last 5 have gone to Minnesota. Twice, Minnesota's won in Madison the last 5 years. And Minnesota has only won once at home. I think Minnesota playing at home, it's a good chance for them to get a win. But I like Wisconsin in this game to tie the matchup, as they'll split the last 6, I think. I think Wisconsin goes on the road and gets a big win on Saturday. In the final, and the finale to go to 7-5 is I think Minnesota misses out on a bowl game. So there you have it for the Big Ten predictions. Recap once again, I'm taking Nebraska over Iowa on Friday. From there, I'm going with Penn State on the road against Michigan State at Ford Field in Detroit. Taking Michigan against Ohio State in the game. Taking Purdue against Indiana to win the Old Oak and Bucket in Rutgers. The birthplace in college football, I'm taking Rutgers over Maryland. And Champaign, Illinois, I'm taking Illinois to beat Northwestern to go 6-6. And in Minneapolis, I'm taking Wisconsin over Minnesota to get a win this weekend in Week 13. That is a Big Ten prediction video for week number 13. Hope you all enjoyed the videos. I will see you next week on Thursday for the Big Ten Championship game prediction. You know what to do. Please remember to watch, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends to do the same if they've not done so already. And also don't forget to hit that notification button below so you know when I upload a new video. With that being said, have a nice day. Stay safe and peace out. Bye for now, and I'll see you next Thursday, everyone. See ya.